Okay, hi girls. This is the do now for today. So I want you to answer these questions on the side. You're not actually going to do them on the sheet. You'll just do them on the side. The first question is, how do you think Yeravam feels as the king of Israel and why? So you can answer this any way you want. How does he feel that he is king over more Shvatim? How does he feel that he's king but not king in Yerushalayim? However you want to take that, take it. The second question is, how do you think Rechavam feels as the king of Yehuda and why? And the third one is, do you think there will ever be a time when these two can work together and when? So if we remember from the last part of the learning, they almost had a civil war and then Hashem intervened and stopped it. So do you think that there will ever be a time when there won't be civil war, when they can actually work together for a common cause, and when would that be? Okay, so even though they are both king of their own tribes, as is most things in life, things aren't always equal. So even though, Rechavam is king over Yehuda and Benjamin, and Yeravam is king over everyone else, there's still an imbalance. And you might think, well, it's an imbalance because Yeravam is king over more Shvatim than Rechavam. But really the imbalance is that Rechavam gets to be king in Yerushalayim, and Yerushalayim is like a center for all of Bnei Israel. So 3 times a year on the Shalosh Regalim, all of Bnei Israel is walking down or up to Yerushalayim. And when they do that, Rechavam sits on the courtyard and he reads from the Torah, and everyone else is like listening to him read. So for number 29, only a king from Yehuda is allowed to sit in the temple courtyard. So when all of Bnei Israel comes to the Beit HaMikdash, Rechavam would be sitting there on his throne reading the Torah, and Yeravam would be standing on the side. So here's a picture of Rechavam. I mean, that's obviously not Rechavam, but okay, a king sitting on his throne. And here's all of Bnei Israel, looking along. And here's Yeravam with this little angry face on the side because he's angry, because he's like a commoner. He's like any other person just standing on the side. So I want you to think about that when we think about what Yeravam's about to do. This is really the reasoning behind why he's about to do what he's about to do. Okay, so like I said before, there was a potential for civil war before. We saw that from Rechavam's side. So Yeravam really felt the need that he needed to prepare himself. So v'yiven Yeravam et Shechem behar Ephraim v'yishev ba v'yitzeh misham v'yiven et Penuel. So Yeravam builds up Shechem and he builds up Penuel. And here's Shechem right here. He builds it up as fortresses, as a wall, just in case Rechavam was going to attack. Actually, Rechavam's side also did the same thing. They built up certain cities because they were nervous that the northern kingdom were going to attack. So there was always this feeling of like impending doom that there was always going to be civil war. So these are numbers 30 and 31. So what's happening in Pesach Chav Hey? Like I said, Yeravam builds up Shechem and Penuel. And what exactly did he build up and why? He built up a fortress so that he could defend himself if there was ever an attack against Rechavam. Okay, so now Yeravam really starts his downfall. Okay, Vayiva'at HaMelech v'ya'as shnei eglei zahav v'yomer aleihem Rav lachem me'alot Yerushalayim hine alecha Yisrael asher ha'alucha me'eretz Mitzrayim. So I asked you to think about how Yeravam feels when he stands like a commoner and Rechavam is the one that everyone is looking to during the Shalosh Regalim and anytime people go down to the Beit HaMikdash. So this is really the impetus, this is really the reason why Yeravam does what he does. He decides that he's going to build 2 aglei zahav, 2 golden calves. And he tells all of Bnei Israel, Rav lachem me'alot Yerushalayim, it's so far for you to go to Yerushalayim. Why would you guys go and travel down to Yerushalayim? Hine alecha Yisrael, the pasuk disappeared. Hine alecha Yisrael, asher halucha me'eretz Mitzrayim. Here are going to be your new gods that you're going to be able to worship. Or not your new gods, but here's going to be gods that you're going to be able to worship. And you can just worship those. Why do you need to go down to the Beit HaMikdash? So for number 32, what did Yeravam do in Pesach Chav? He built 2 golden calves that Bnei Israel should worship instead of going up to Yerushalayim. And how did he convince Bnei Israel to do this? Why would Bnei Israel ever think this is a good idea to do this? Because Yeravam told everyone that since Achia appointed him king, it was obvious that Hashem wanted it this way, and therefore everyone had to accept him. They could only do this if they gave up going to the Beit HaMikdash. Okay, so this is how he convinced all of Bnei Israel to worship these calves. Now we have a question of where did he put them? So one he put in Dan, city Dan, and one was put in Beit El. So that's number 34. And then we're going to look at a map right now. Okay, here's a map of Israel with the Shvatim. Okay, so here is Dan. So I want you to circle in your own map Dan, which is in Naphtali. It's at the very, very tippy top. Well, almost. Dan. And the other one is here in Shevet Ephraim and Beit El. So in your maps, find Ephraim and circle Beit El. Okay, those are the two places where he put these calves. So if you look just at the map, why would he put them in these two places? Well, if you notice, one is at the top of his kingdom and one is semi towards the bottom. Yeah, it is. It's towards the bottom of his kingdom. And he puts them there because he's saying, look, I'm going to make it much more convenient for you to get to these places. It's really not convenient for you to have to go all the way to Yerushalayim if you live if you're Shevet Naphtali and you live all the way up there. It's much more convenient for you to go here. So I'm going to give you two options that you're going to get to choose from. But not only that, Beit El was chosen symbolically because Yaakov once described it as a house of God. So this is Yeroboam's way of saying, I'm going to choose a place that's also holy. I know Yerushalayim is holy, but also my place is going to be holy, and you're going to be able to worship these gods there. Well, not God, okay, these calves there. The reason I'm saying not gods is because in the original intention, which is what we're doing right now, this is number 36, originally Yeroboam just wanted the calves to be a way to daven to Hashem. He didn't want them to actually be idols, but eventually that happened. Okay, so not only did Yeroboam build the two calves, but he also decided to make his own Beit HaMikdash, number 37, and he chose ransom people to be Kohanim. So the question is, why didn't he choose real Kohanim to be Kohanim? So I want you guys to write down what you think about that. One reason is because the Kohanim and Levium would never agree to do such a thing, to be in a fake Beit HaMikdash. They would never agree. They all lived in Yerushalayim, they all worked in Yerushalayim. They would never ever leave that to work in Yeroboam's fake Beit HaMikdash. But also, it was another piece of symbolism. Yeroboam was saying, look, I don't want any more heredity and entitlement. I don't want you to just be a Kohen because your dad's a Kohen. Why can't you just be a Kohen because you deserve to be a Kohen? And he obviously feels really strongly about this because he's not the son of a king and he was chosen to be king. So he wants to send that message to Bnei Yisrael that he doesn't care about who your father is and who your grandfather is. He wants you to be able to choose whatever life that you want, even if it means to be, especially if it means to be a Kohen in a Beit HaMikdash. So that was number 38. So now it's number 39. What else did he do? V'ya'as Yeroboam chag b'chodesh hashmini b'chamisha asar yom l'chodesh kechag asher b'Yehuda. Okay, so Yeroboam made his own holiday in the 8th month on the 15th of that month. Okay, and that was his own holiday. They al mizbeach, and everyone was supposed to go there, just like the Shalosh Regalim. He added another Shalosh Regalim basically, and said, on this holiday, I want everyone to go up to Dan, and I want everyone to go down to Beit El, and I want you to worship the calf there at this time. So that's number 39. And what was his logic? That people would still even though people would still end up going to the Beit HaMikdash for the Shalosh Regalim, he also wanted to encourage people to also come up for his calves, for his holiday, so that eventually he's going to win them over. That's his ultimate goal. His ultimate goal is to win everyone over in the end. This is like a means to get there. He's not going to abolish Shalosh Regalim. No one's ever going to listen to him if he does that. But if he does this, then it will slowly maybe get people to be too lazy to make the aliyah to Yerushalayim. Because that's number 40. Okay, girls, now I want you to go back to page 6 and fill out the title and picture. Okay, you don't need to do the do now because you did it already. Okay, actually, maybe I'll have you draw a picture here. Okay, when you're done with this video and your packet is finished, you can come up back to the classroom. Okay, girls. Have a great